studied about food, where does it come from? Yes, so now we are going to deal with the next chapter, that is components of food. We are going to deal with components of food. Yes, what are different components are there in the food? How they are going to help us? That we are going to study in this particular chapter. So the food contains different types of nutrients. It contains different types of nutrients in them, such as carbohydrate, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, water and roughages. So what are the different nutrients which are present in the food? We have the carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, water and roughage. Yes. So now let us start with the first one, that is carbohydrates. Yes, carbohydrates. There are many types of carbohydrates. We have very different variety of carbohydrates there. The major carbohydrates found in plants are starch and sugars. So basically, main of the most important carbohydrate type that you find in the plants are your starch and sugars. Yes, it provides energy to the body. So carbohydrates, they are meant for providing the energy to the body. They are meant for providing the energy to the body. Sources of carbohydrates. So which are the food materials that are going to have this carbohydrate in them? We have wheat, rice, pearl, potatoes, sugar, jaggery, fruits. Yes, we have so many there. We have wheat, rice, potatoes, fruits. Yes, it is present in most of them there. So rice is a rich source of starch. So rice is the very rich source of your starch there. It is going to act as the richest source of the starch there. So you can see here different types of carbohydrates. Mainly we have simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. Yes, in case of simple we have the sugars. In case of complex we have starch and fiber. Yes, you are able to see vegetables, milk products, yes, soya bean, onions, then you have pulses, nuts, cereals, then maize. You have most. So carbohydrate is present in most of the components there. Yes? Yeah. So now we are going to see how to test the presence of carbohydrate in the food. So, to test this presence of carbohydrate in the food, what we are going to perform a small test here. So, for this test we need a potato and we need iodine solution here. Yes, iodine solution, it is reddish brown in color. So, what we are going to do is, we are going to take a potato, we are going to peel it like this. Yes, on this peeled part we are going to add 2 to 3 drops of the dilute iodine solution. We are going to add the dilute iodine solution there, and we are going to observe it. See, iodine is in reddish color, reddish brown color. After some time, if you see this potato, the peeled part of potato where you have added the iodine, it will be turning out into blue-black color. It will be turning out into blue-black color there. Yes. So this shows that this particular food component is having the starch in it. That means the food contains carbohydrate. Food contains the carbohydrate there. Starch is a component which is one of the carbohydrate. Yes. So this shows the presence of carbohydrate there. So next point we are going to deal here is about the proteins. Yes. So we came to know about the carbohydrates. They are going to provide energy to the body. Yes. So when we are talking about proteins here, proteins are body building food. So proteins are bodybuilding food. Yes, bodybuilding, muscles and all. How do we get it? By these proteins here. These are essential for the growth of the body tissues. So proteins are very essential for the growth of your body tissues there. Proteins can be divided into two groups. So the proteins are being divided into two groups. That is animal proteins and vegetable proteins. Animal proteins and vegetable proteins. So when we are talking about animal proteins, that means these are being obtained from animal products. So the proteins which are being obtained from the animal products, they are called as animal proteins, and the proteins which are being obtained from the plants or the vegetables, they are called as vegetable proteins. So in animal proteins, that means your milk, egg, fish. Yes, in vegetables you have gram, turda, beans and peas, etc. So many other. Yes, so these are the sources of your proteins. You can see here plant-based proteins and animal-based proteins here. Different oats you have. Yes, almonds, peanuts, cashews, avocado, so many are there. The same way animal-based you have eggs, chicken, yes, duck, milk, yogurt and cheese. These are rich source of protein. So the same way as we have performed a test for carbohydrates, we are going to perform a test for protein to check in the food that we eat whether it is having the protein in it or not, whether the food is having protein in it or not. So for this, what we are going to do is we are going to take a small quantity of the food. We are going to take a small quantity of food, and if it is solid, we are going to smash it. We have to smash it there. Then we have to put it in a test tube, and to that test tube we are going to add some water there, so that we find a solution of the food which we have smashed there. To that particular test tube we are going to add dilute copper sulfate solution. So the copper sulfate solution, it will be blue in color. You can see here. So to that particular test tube we are going to add the copper sulfate solution. Then after that we are going to add the caustic soda or dilute hydroxide solution. Dilute hydroxide solution we are going to add. So once we add, there is a change in the color in that particular test tube. Yes, the first one you can see here. That means we have the food material, we have these two chemicals, that is copper sulfate solution and hydroxide solution. So when there is a presence of protein there, it will turn into violet color. If the food is not having the protein, it will remain blue color only. So this shows that the food material that we eat, whether it has the protein in it or not. This is one of the tests performed to check the presence of proteins there. Next we have is the fats. Fats also provide energy to our body. So until now we were knowing that only carbohydrates do provide energy to our body. But we have these fats which also provide the energy to our body. They are also going to provide the energy to our body. In fact, fats provide twice the energy as provided by the same amount of carbohydrates. Yes, so that means if you eat, for example I am telling, if you are eating this much of fat, it is equal to twice. So this much of your carbohydrates, that means it is going to provide the energy 2 times the same amount of carbohydrate that is going to provide you. Yes, they also provide support to our body and insulate or cushion the soft tissues and organs. So they are not just providing the energy to our body. With providing energy, they are also supporting, insulating organs and the soft tissues there. Yes, so that means like you will be adding oil to your vehicles, right? So that the engine keeps perfectly working. In the same way, these fats, they are also going to act as insulators or cushion the soft tissues and organs. Fats and oils are similar substances. Yes, please don't mistake. Fats and oils both are similar substances. They only differ. The only difference that they are having is fats are solid at room temperature, whereas oils be liquid at room temperature. Yes. So the cooking oil that you use at your home, it is liquid. It is not solid there. It is liquid. But when we are talking about the fats, like your butter, yes, butter is a source of fat. So it is solid at room temperature, but the oils are liquid at room temperature. Yes? Fats can be obtained from plants as well as animals. So this fat, the sources of fat, it is both. You can obtain this fat from the animals as well as from plants there. Yes? You can see here sources, eggs, avocado, then you have, see, olive oil, you have almond, walnut, butter. Yes, there are so many sources of your fats there. See, this is an animal source. This is again a plant source, animal source. Yes, so that means fats are being obtained from both plants as well as animals there. So, test for fats. We have done the test to check the presence of carbohydrate in the food, test for the presence of proteins in the food. In the similar way, we are going to perform test for the presence of fats in the food that we eat. So what we have to do is, we have to take a small quantity of food and we have to wrap it in a paper and you have to crush it. You have to crush it. So then make sure when you are crushing, you should not tear the paper there. You have to crush it in such a way it don't get teared there. It is not being teared there. Okay. Now straighten the paper and observe. Now open the folds there. Open the folds of your paper and observe. What do you see? Yes. So you will be able to see a patch like this. You will be able to see a patch like this. From where the light is passing. The light is able to pass through that particular patch there. Yes, the patch of paper shows the presence of fat in the food. So, this particular patch, what is being obtained or it is appeared there because of the food that you have wrapped in that paper and you have smashed it there. Yes, as a result of it, you will be able to see this patch. But does it happen when you put the water there? Yes. Are you able to see it there? No. When you put the water, you won't get such kind of patch there. That means